If there's one thing we've learned about business and life, it's that people are the X factor. They constantly surprise us, both in amazing ways and not so much. We're Ben and Syya, and welcome to the Gnaw On This Business Bytes podcast. This show is all about real-life things we all deal with every day, how they relate to business, and how to make some sense out of our daily chaos. Welcome to the show. And welcome back to another episode of Gnaw On This Business Bytes. I'm Ben, and this is Syya. And guess what? If you believe it or not, this is our 100th episode. 100 episodes. And I want to thank every single person who's taken the time, comes and hangs out with us on Tuesdays, might be on Team Replay, comments, emails, even tells me about stuff that they haven't liked over the time. It says, I love you all. And I really want to sit there and say, hey, listen, we appreciate this. And we want to sit back and sit there and say, okay, we're going to go into the comments. And I want you guys to chat about the what you guys have learned, because I think that's what we're going to do, is what have we learned over the last 100 episodes? Because I've done shows for years. I mean, I've been podcasting now for 12 years. Oof. The show before this was 5.5 years and 325 episodes. So I never thought I was going to get there again with a single show. I never thought I was going to get to the 100, 200, 300 episode range. And here we are. So Syya, I want to start with you. What are your impressions? Like, what are your best memories? What are your thoughts? What are we taking away from looking back? I want to hear it all. Let's Gnaw on this.
Dude. Do you remember when we first conceived this? This had been 2 years ago, my friend.
Yes.
And I remember we vibed. We were chatting on LinkedIn. We completely vibed. And then I think it was either you or me, and we're like, we should record our conversations because we're freaking geniuses. And then we just had that moment. We looked at each other and we're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do this.
Yes.
And I remember you actually said to me, yeah, let's do this for like a quarter and let's see how it goes. And I thought it was funny because we did start it in August, like now, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, but it was, I just remember that come January the next, year, because the quarter's been up, and you looked at me and I looked at you and we're like, are we recording? We're recording, right? And it was just like, we didn't really say it. We just kind of said, okay, let's keep going. And I just remember at the 6-month mark, you're like, is this working for us? Is this really working for us? And I'm like, I don't know. It's only been 6 months, but I'm having fun. Are you having fun? And you're like, I'm having fun, but what's the efficacy of this? And I'm like, dude, let's just freaking ride that wave out. And you know what? We're not looking at vanity metrics. We're not trying to be, quote, influencers. I'm like, but I do think there's something there in what we're doing. And so, dude, I just remember I loved that we went through all the same questions that all content creators go through, which is this worth my fracking time?
Yeah.
And I have to say, I think it has been. I really think it has been.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we wouldn't still be doing this if you and I, first of all, didn't love each other, if we didn't have a good time together. I mean, we get together and we do this on a weekly basis. We hang out with our audience. We do all the things that we do, but we wouldn't do it if we didn't truly love it. I mean, I love the format. I love, the riffing. I love the back and forth. And it's one of those things where we sit there and say, okay, it's 15 minutes. It's just enough time that you have some meat on a bone that you can actually gnaw on. You can get some insights in, you can get some things, but it lets people go on with their day. And I think that was our original concept. Our original concept is we don't want to do a half-hour show. We don't want to do an hour show. We don't want to sit there and pontificate. We just want to sit there and say, okay, let's grab one idea. Let's grab one minute little idea and riff on it. And we, from week to week, there's many times we sit there, okay, we know what we're going to talk about, but do we really know what we're going to talk about? Okay, well, let's go. And I think that there's some magic that has come from that because it's really authentic. It's not scripted. We don't have the 10 questions I'm going to ask Syya this week. And I think that we've been able to create some real magic. And I hope our audience feels the same way. I mean, put in your comments, guys. Are you happy with what you see? And what else would you like us to be doing?
Yeah. I mean, we kept it simple. It's like, keep it simple, stupid, right? Oh, don't say stupid. Keep it simple, simpleton. But
Sally, keep it simple, Sally. There we go.
Steven,
keep it simple, Syya. There we go.
Truthfully, there's a lot of truth to that statement, my friend. But here's what I think I'd like to impart and heavily emphasize, because you and I help people understand how to communicate, how to get their message, how do they convey themselves, especially in business communications, and as well as our personal lives, right? Mm-hmm. And one thing that I just really, it just tickles me with Gnaw On This is I get notes from people and they are like, hey, I saw this episode, and you're like, episode 52, they saw that? Okay, cool. Or they say, dude, you know what? I don't ever comment. I don't have the ability, but I just play you guys in the background. You crack me up on what was an abysmal day. Yeah. Or you made me think about something I actually was going through, organization. Like, what is your organization? It made them think about, like, am I really organized? And it's a simple, random, you know what it is? It's shower thoughts.
Yes.
And you and I decided to talk about it for 15 minutes and actually talk about our shower thoughts. That's what I love.
Yeah, because, I mean, my thought is I want people to walk out of here after 15 minutes going, I hadn't thought of it that way before. Maybe I should take another look at this. And that's what all it is. It's conversation starters. That's what this is. I mean, I look at this as the yeast within the dough to make the sourdough. You and I are just the yeast. And hopefully we're letting, don't look at me that way. And I think hopefully we're enabling people to rise up, and we're enabling people to be bigger and better than what they have been, and look at things differently and realize that, okay, my opinion is not the only way of looking at this. And maybe there's a different way of looking at this I hadn't even thought of. And that's what I'm trying to impart every single week. It's just say, have you thought of this? Have you looked at things this way? What about this? And we've been able to have some really great conversations about that. Things to do with business, things to do with personal, things to do with life itself. And taking your experience and my experience. I mean, God knows we've got enough experience between the two of us to fill, books and albums.
Watch it. You're dancing a fine line there, young man.
I'm older than you are. I'm taking the majority of this stuff. You're just a kid. I mean, let's face it. But when we look at this together and we sit there and go, okay, how can we enable people to be better versions of themselves? How can we get people to appeal to their better angels? And that's what I'm hoping this show is doing for people. I mean, everybody's going to take away from it what they take away from it. And that's the magic. You may take something away from it that I never even thought of. And I'd love to hear those comments too. What's the one thing that you've gone and done that's been completely different from what we've talked about? I mean, that would be a great conversation to have. But go for it.
I was just going to say, what's interesting is the feedback I've gotten is so many people, they're like, you guys are so fun with the way you guys talk about and the things. They're like, but can I be a guest? Can I join you guys? I want to gnaw on this with you. And it got me thinking, Ben, I know that wasn't our intention. It was really more just you and me, just shoot the you-know-what. But maybe to celebrate the 100, even though this is ours, maybe we do one and just be like, all right, you want to, it's almost like maybe we'll do April Fools. And then we'll just have random people be us.
Oh, that'd be funny. Just to do something like that. I mean, that's a long way off as April Fools, but I like the fact that it says, you know what, maybe on a random basis, grab some of our best fans, and enable them to sit there and say, give us an idea of what you would like to talk about on a show. And maybe once a month, we invite a guest onto the show and we talk about it. And maybe the show goes from 15 minutes to 20 minutes, and that's okay. Because we have a third person in there, and maybe there's a little bit more. But if we brought somebody on, say once a month, and says, hey, listen, people send us, an email, a LinkedIn message, or whatever to say, hey, listen, I'd like to riff on this. I think this would be a great topic to riff on. I'm not opposed to that. And we record it, or we do it live, or whatever we do, and we make that happen. But I think it's got to be audience participation. You as an audience have to want this. You as an audience have to be involved, because for us to sit there and reach out, then we're sitting there going, oh, wait a second, they picked me instead of you and you instead of me. I want you as our loyal audience to sit there and say, hey, listen, here's an idea. This is where I think we can go with this. This is something that I've been gnawing on my own, and I'd love to bring it to the table. You know what? Let's listen to those. And if there's some great ones, and I'm sure there will be, I'm in.
I got it. I already got the format.
Perfect.
Everyone, I'm going to call it out. Let's do one. Have you ever heard of Reddit? Am I the a-hole?
No, I've heard of it, but I haven't actually read through it.
Not someone calling you the a-hole. I'm talking about the Reddit. I'm kidding. No. No.
That's a different story.
But I think it would be kind of interesting to bring a third person on, because it's, am I the a-hole? And they'll have topics like business topics or whatever, whatever topic it might be. And I wonder if maybe we when we have a third person, we read off, am I the what, and then we respond to it. And I wonder if whatever theme that they want to do would be the way we go about it, because it gives an opportunity to have three people have a perspective.
Yeah.
To gnaw on. And it's not just our opinions of, am I the what? I don't know. Everyone think about it. You tell me, would you be interested to join us as a third person to answer, am I the what? Or would you like it to be a theme that you guys want us to talk about, or a mix of both? Let us know, because adding a third person to our little lovely, collaboration can get a little awkward. You know what I'm saying?
I totally get it. I mean, but once a month. Do it once a month or once a quarter or something like that, depending on what the uptick is. I mean, I don't want to have the same person on the show all the time.
No, it's different.
I want to spread this amongst people. I want to hear different voices. That's the beautiful thing about this. We want to hear different voices. So I don't want somebody to come up and says, here's a list of the 10 things I want to talk about. No, give me your best. Give me the one that truly and absolutely you think is going to move a needle and is going to enable people to be better angels of themselves.
Let's set the tone here then, if we're going to do this. And guys, we are totally live riffing this. It's like totally coming out, which is no agenda, no pitching.
Yes.
Like, we're not going to ask you what you do if you want to join us. We're simply saying, Billy's here, Mary's here today. Here we go. We're not going to do anything about your life story. No. We're not going to, I don't need to know your why of existence. We're literally here.
We'll put your LinkedIn profile into the chat.
Yeah. I think for those that are open to that, then we're cool. We're not going to talk about what you do for a living, as in that's the topic you want to talk about. I don't think that's so. I just want this to be fun, real, and genuine. And
absolutely.
Because if everyone wants to look at who you are and what you do, they can go to your LinkedIn profile. But if they want to get to know you,
there's 1,000 podcasts that do that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably 1 million podcasts that do it. So what's your name? What do you do? How do you do it? We don't care about that. We want to know what's going on in that little brain of yours and what's making you want to gnaw on this.
Yeah. What the hell is wrong with you? You want to be chatting with us? You're choosing this?
Sucker.
Oh, golly gee. Okay. I think
so that's the plan. So this is our 100th anniversary. We're riffing on this. We didn't come up with this on top of the thing. This is something we thought of right here and now. So thank you all for being part of the show. Thank you all. I can't wait to produce the 150th episode, the 200th episode. We're going to have a lot of fun doing this. So let's sit down. Let's talk. Let's gnaw on this. Let's keep it going. And we'll see you guys next week. And I can't wait to hear the thoughts you guys come up with. And let's get somebody on the air and get this thing going. Till next week, I'm Ben.
And I'm Syya.
And we'll see you soon.
Hey. Thanks for listening to another episode of Gnaw On This, Business Bytes. If you liked what you heard, we most humbly ask that you like, share, and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to communicate more effectively within your organization, contact Ben at yourbrandmarketing.com or me at brilliantbeammedia.com. We can help you build your community, brand awareness, and personality through digital content and podcasting. We cannot wait to hear from you. So see you next week for another episode of Gnaw On This, Business Bytes.